Okay, today we are going to deal with data types and then variable declaration. Yes. So um data types are just various forms in which data is being stored when you are coding or you are doing your programming. Yes, you can store data in various forms like integer. It is being each has a keyword of int, and then character, which has a keyword of char, and then we have boolean, which has a keyword of for of bool, which is bool, and then we have double, as in the way you type double, and then float, as in float, something floating on water, the way you spell it. So so those are some of the data types that we have in the C++. Okay, let's go here. The int is used for storing numbers, integers. Yes, whole numbers actually. So the data set for a data type is whole numbers. And also we have the floating point. We have the float and the double. The float is they are used for storing decimal numbers, both the float and then the double. They are used for storing decimal numbers. And then the boolean is used for storing, it just accept only two data sets, which is true and then false. Which when you output logically gives you the true gives you one, and then the false gives you zero. So we are going to do some of them, and also with the character. Character is used for storing letters and symbols. Yes, enclosed in single quotes. So let's look at how you declare a variable. To declare the variable, you need the data type and then the variable name. You bring the assignment operator, which is equal to sign, and then the value. So let's start with the integer. You have something like int. As usual, before you start coding, you have to know your have your basic syntax of C++ at your fingertips. So you will start with int. That's the data type. Then the variable name. We have age. Then we have the value 21. With this one, we don't enclose in um single quotes or double quotes. It's an integer. It will work like that. You don't have to quote the value. So the data type, the variable name, the assignment operator, which is equal to sign here, and then the value attached to it, which is a 21, and then you close it with your semicolon. That's what you use to close it, and then you have your return zero as usual at the bottom. So you close it. Let's try to output the variable value in the variable, which is cout. So we have the name, which is age, then in the language this. So this how you output the value. If you were not to use this using namespace std line here, the line 2, we would have to add std like this to each line of code that we'll be writing here. So since we've already done that, you don't need to be confusing ourselves with that style. So we've already done it here. So we just save and then output it, and then the output comes as 21. If you change the value to 40, it also comes, the value comes as 40. Okay. So what if you try decimal point like 0.876 or something? When you output, you get 40, which is the whole number part. This is a double as indicated here. So when you want to output a double, a decimal point, you use the double keyword. If you want to output a decimal number, use a double keyword or the float, depending on how lengthy the decimal points are. Yes. With the float, with the double, this is what it gives, and then the float. Okay, so the same. Then they both give decimal numbers. There's used for decimal, but one is longer than one accept bigger values than the other. So with character, you start with the char keyword, then the variable name, maybe the name that I want to give it is character. Yes. You don't bring numbers. You bring letters or symbols as its values. So you open a single quote, sorry, not a double quote, a single quote, then you put the value inside. You want to output A, so let me clear the terminal. You want to output A, so you save. Okay, there's an error here. So here the variable name is supposed to be character, not it, because what you want to output is a character. Then you run it. Sorry, you save and then you run it. Then the A comes. If it's a plus sign that I want to work with, also can add the plus sign, save the file, and then run. So the plus sign will appear here for you. So use it to output letters and symbols enclosed in single quotes. And then with the boolean accepts only two value, true or false. That's true or false. So to start with the boolean, you start with bool, then maybe start with um, you can name it TF, true or false. So you you can only assign two values to it, which is true or false. So let's try with the true. And so TF, that's the name. You can use any other name, not always TF. So the true will give you one. Logically, true is one. That means it's up, or it's on. So to give you one as an output, and if you do false, you save and then you run, it gives you zero. Yeah, there's a zero at the bottom here. Yeah. So there to output zero for you. Yeah. So that's how the various data types work, and that's how you declare a variable, and this is how you output the values of the variable. Thank you very much.